Blazing Hot 91, your blazing hot music spot. And we have a very special guest here, Professor Anthony Stockard, the head of NSU Theatre. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, man.
It's great to have you here. You being with NSU Theatre, the company is not letting the coronavirus stop you from having great performances. And I see that this performance, you have teamed up with Virginia Art Festival. So tell us about how you got that collaboration going.
Well, I'd already tentatively scheduled a Soldier's play in the season last summer, and I was serving on the faculty of the Duffy Opera Institute at the Virginia Arts Festival. It's where they create new operas and all that other stuff, and I was working on the book and the acting on those projects, coaching those people. I was taking a lunch break, and last summer, as you know, The Lion King was on tour and came to Chrysler Hall, and two of my former students were starring in it as Simba and Nala. I asked for an extended lunch break, and when he asked me why, I explained that was the reason, and then we just started talking about where students were, and then we thought it would be great to bring back all these NSU alum who have gone on and have careers in the field and gone on to graduate school and that kind of thing, and bring them back and sort of do a homecoming production of the show. And we agreed that we'd move forward, and the show was supposed to happen in May, but of course the virus came and shut everything down. We moved into phase 2, which permitted live performances here in Virginia, but we really didn't feel like things were where they needed to be. I took a survey of patrons, and they gave me a lot of feedback on what they wanted and when they wanted it. And then we moved into phase 3. And we moved into phase 3, we decided we would present under the guidelines of phase 2, just as a buffer in case we got rolled back, and because we felt like if we were in phase 3, being in phase 2 just made us all feel a lot more comfortable about presenting the show. So that's what we did, and thank God we did. They rolled things back to gatherings being 50 again, but we had already had that covered, and it's outdoors. It could have been indoors, but we prefer outdoors just because it is the absolute safest, venue to hold these type of events, and we're just excited. Our first performance is tomorrow.
Okay, it sounds good, and I have seen, because it's presented outdoors, it's 100% contact-free, which is a great thing
correct.
At this time.
Programs to people, scanning tickets, there's zero contact.
And now I want to go back to something you mentioned in there. Are all of the performers going to be NSU alumni or just...
Originally, it was going to be 100% NSU alumni, graduates of the Drama and Theater program and the NSU Theater Company. But some people, they live in L.A., their careers are there, and some are in other parts of the country. And, flying right now, especially from those places, and particularly about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, when we decided that we would move forward, just didn't seem safe. So I went ahead and moved on and recast some of the roles with people who were here in the area who came home already because of the virus. Everybody except for a couple of the roles that we had to cast outside the university regardless are all NSU Theatre alumni. So we still accomplished that. We just did some shifting in the casting based off of who was here in the area already.
Love that. Now, how did you decide on a soldier story for the performance?
Well, it's the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II this year, and A Soldier's Play is the only dramatic, play script written that I'm aware of that deals with African Americans during World War II. And I just thought it was fitting to have in the season this year to commemorate the anniversary of the end of World War II, African Americans' participation in the war, and of course the story speaks directly to that. Their experiences in the military at this time during the war. After I announced the show, a couple months later, it was announced that the show would go to Broadway. So that was cool that it was, happening in New York, and we would shortly thereafter be presenting it here. The original off-Broadway production had Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson in it, and Denzel Washington stayed on when it transferred to film for A Soldier's Story. We're just, really excited about telling this particular story at this particular time with alums and in a way that is, absolutely safe and people can enjoy themselves.
So I heard that you mentioned that the first performance is tomorrow. So apparently it's the first of many. So how many performances are going to be taking place?
There's 8 performances across 2 weeks. They are outdoor productions. So the weather, of course, will dictate whether all of them happen on the date scheduled. We have rain dates. So if we are rained out, audiences at those particular shows will be able to transfer their tickets day that we have on hold in case there's rain.
Okay. And as I understand, this is completely sold out at this point, or am I mistaken?
Well, the original dates are all sold out. That is true. The run of the show is sold out. But we do have additional performance dates that were not advertised that are on hold in case we have to shift performances due to rain. In that event, people would be notified and our website would be updated to let people know that tickets have become available for those dates in case, tickets open up in the second week. And if they're patrons and they follow our Instagram or our Facebook, if ticket availability happens, it'll be posted there. They can go to the website, NSUtheatre.com. It'll be posted there if tickets are available. And, of course, they can go to our website and sign up for our e-blast registration, and they'll be the first people to know will be the e-blast that tickets have become available because of opening up a rain date performance.
Now, with that being said, with NSU Theatre, what other things do you have moving forward? Especially with this kind of interesting school year that we're going to have because of what's going on with COVID-19.
Well, we're going to move full steam ahead. I don't know that we'll be doing subscriptions. We've been doing that for years now, but because of the nature of how things have to be planned and making sure that weather is good when it's being planned, we might go shift this year to just announcing shows as we are certain they are moving forward. But we will still be doing a musical tribute. We do that every year. We know that homecoming activities, of course, will be reduced or non-existent. But we will move forward with the tribute. It's a wonderful opportunity because when you're doing these shows under the guidelines, performers have to be 10 feet away from each other on stage unless they're from the same household. So musical tributes where there's a person at a mic and some musicians spaced out upstage and it's just one person is a format that we think is pretty safe. And there's a couple of solo shows and two-person shows where people don't interact. We actually did Yellow Man for Project One Voice for the Kennedy Center a few years back at the Ziders American Dream Theater, and it's a two-person show, and the audience loved it and begged us to put it on as a full production, and it would be ideal under the circumstances we're under now with social distancing and spacing with performers. And we're looking at other pieces as well. So we will be moving right along safely, of course, and with pieces that lend themselves so that the artistic experience is not compromised, so that the audience is comfortable and entertained. But right now, we won't be doing any full-blown musicals at the moment because they're just too complicated to present under safe terms.
Very understandable. And how can our listeners support the Norfolk State Theater Company?
Well, tickets are huge. Ticket support goes into funds that help us with our productions. They help generate scholarship dollars for the students that they see performing in the productions. And if shows are sold out, we have a foundation account with the NSU Foundation. Donations could be sent there. As we're moving forward, we are going to be launching a sort of a patron support circle on the Sentinel Society, sort of a community support group for the theater company. And again, that will be sent out and advertised a little bit later during the fall semester. But if people are interested, they can go to NSUtheatre.com and sign up for the email blast, and they'll find out about that as well once that launches.
And actually, you covered my last question. I wanted to know if you had a website or email that they could reach out to. Well, just for the sake of it, let's give them the email and the website one more time.
Absolutely. The website is NSUtheatre.com. It's also the handle for Instagram and Facebook, just NSU Theatre. There is an email, which is drama@nsu.edu for more information. And the website also has other optional phones, numbers, contacts, box office numbers, and things of that sort.
Okay. And we would like to thank you so much for coming through. And we appreciate you continuing your art in this kind of difficult time that we're having and putting together shows so people can get out the house and be entertained, but still be safe. So we really, really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it, man. I thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And don't forget, we have all this information on our Facebook page or our station's website for more information. That'll be at Hot 91 Online or WNSBonline.org. That is our website. Thank you again, Professor Stockard.
I appreciate it, man. You have a good one. And thanks again for taking the time to let the community know about what we're doing and what we have going on.
We appreciate it so much. And thank you. And everyone else out there, keep it locked right here. We're Blazing Hot 91. We'll get through this together.